Look, before we get into the content, it's really important that you guys hit that subscribe button. We're out here every single day working for y'all, trying to hit y'all with the best content. And what motivates us to keep going is people like you. So hit the subscribe button, join the conversation, join the Deuce Gang.
What he said.
I guess, you know, when they say that you shouldn't meet your heroes because, like, you know, like your heroes is like, you look at them like, you know, they're not even real. And then when you meet them, you realize they're flawed. And, you know, I get that. Now, I haven't met this brother, but he did mean a lot to our community, Black community, hip hop community, etc. I'm talking about Afrika, Bambaata, and the Zulu Nation. Apparently, they're being sued for sexual trafficking of a 12-year-old boy. Now, the hip-hop pioneer Bambaata and his Universal Zulu Nation have reportedly been sued under the Child Victims Act. Bambaata and the organization have been accused of sexual trafficking and prostituting a 12-year-old boy to older men during a 4-year span. Similar allegations against Afrika Bambaata started in 2016 when Ronald Savage claimed he was only 15 years old when the rapper began sexually abusing him. Following Savage's claim, 3 more men accused him of sexual abuse. Bro.
Okay, so before we get into this, I just want to say, listen, YouTube has a thing with us where I don't know if they're really big fans of us, but our videos don't really be going out the way they're supposed to. People don't be getting notifications. So if you're watching right now, because I can feel where this conversation is going, I'm gonna need you to drop a like. I'm gonna need you to drop a like. I'm gonna need you to comment and help us out so this video can our videos can get out to more people. Thank you very much. Okay, we can start this up now.
Fair. Look, at the end of the day, though, I had this conversation with another one of my homies on an older podcast, right? And I said to myself, men, alpha males, they're alpha males for a reason, right? Top dog type shit. Can't fuck with me type shit.
Right.
If an alpha male gets raped, they're probably not gonna say anything because, well, that whole machismo could never happen to me. I'll die before that happens to me. They're not gonna say anything. So the conversation that I had with my friend is, if you were a rapist and you were a man, wouldn't it be smart to rape other men? Chances are you're going to get away with it. And I say that to say this: Afrika Bambaata and the Zulu Nation, like I said, they meant a lot to not just hip hop, but our community. That we looked at them as strength, unity. So with that in mind, and coupled with celebrity, these people that I just read about, chances are there's a lot more. People seeing this, victims are like, yeah, you came out. I ain't never coming out and telling nobody shit. I'm taking that to the grave. So there's a lot more. But I mean, like, what do you do in this situation?
I mean, what do you do if you're who?
If you're the victim, and I don't want to put you in that hypothetical because
no,
I know
you got to do it. No, you got to do it. I'm not going to go crazy with it.
All right, fine. I'll put you in the hypothetical. If you were raped by a man, take Afrika Bambaata out of it. If you were raped by a man, are you coming forward and cooperating with the police to bring that person to justice? Because you know everybody's going to know after that.
Yeah. That's exactly a great point. No, I'm probably not. And that's the thing though. Well, you know what? Me personally, I'm going after the person. Like, you want me to be 100 with you? There might be a time where I'm just chills or whatever. It depends on what age as well. You know what it is? Because if I'm little and I'm a small child, obviously there's not really much I can do. I'm definitely going to be quiet about that. I believe you said the kid was 12.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be quiet at 12 for sure. I'm not telling nobody. Nobody needs to know about that. But then I get older and I still know where this guy is at and I find him and I'm a grown man now. I'm coming back for you. Like it's return of Terminator. Like we coming back T-2000 style. You know what I mean? I'm not going to the cops or any of that type of stuff. It's just a shame that feeling, the reason I would be quiet, would have less to do with who I am and more to do with just the culture that I was raised in.
Right.
That's more what it's about, you know, because there are cultures where the child would immediately tell their parents.
Yes, of course.
They would go right home if something, mommy, the teacher told me to touch her here, or this man came and he touched me. They will immediately. But for lack of a better way of saying it, in the black culture mainly, and you want to talk about Caribbean culture added on to that, this is something that is a huge stigma.
Yeah, you're gonna have
So
to tuck that shit.
bury it in a box. There's probably people alive right now, and there's people who have died, taking it to their grave and took it to their grave.
Right.
Never told nobody in their life, just dealt with that pain. And that's ridiculous trauma type levels.
Very, very sad.
But imagine how programmed we are culturally to the point that we would rather deal with that pain internally than just deal with it for like a few months and get it over and done with. Nobody's gonna remember that shit.
And also, you're a victim. You didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
You could be victimized in many different ways, sexually, physically, mentally, sometimes all three, by people you trust. Also, sometimes you got to take yourself out of the situation and think, okay, this is a predator. What if they're doing it to other people? What if they're doing it to people younger than me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that person off the streets. I say all that to say this. My guy made some great points when it comes to our culture. It's true. We're not designed that way. But whether you're from our culture or not, if you're a man and you're being abused by any one of the three, or maybe 4, 5, 6 that I missed, you gotta say something. It's not about your masculinity. It's about you being abused. It's about, again, like I don't want me to be a broken record, but what if they're doing it to somebody else? Somebody who's more vulnerable than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be able to, and I use you as a hypothetical, but you may be able to live with that shit for the rest of your life. But what if the next person isn't that strong? What if the next person happens to them once they off themselves?
But the thing is, like, I wouldn't be able to live with that for the rest. I would be dealing with that every day internally, regardless of how I feel. And like, the joke is, if I were to go immediately and say something, and I know this in my head too, if I were to go immediately and say something to somebody, I would be able to deal with that a lot sooner than me carrying it and not telling anybody for the rest of my life. These are all things that I know. They're in my head, but I also know that I'm not telling a damn person about it.
Well, viewing public, I want to know what your thoughts are. Additionally, if you have any Afrika, Bambaata, or Zulu Nation paraphernalia, whether it be poster, CD, tape, 8-track, or otherwise, burn that shit. And be vocal on your social media. I don't give a shit if he looks like us. I don't give a shit what he means to the game. This guy is a predator. These are all allegedly, by the way. We don't know. But if there's, put it this way, nobody calls you a crackhead for 20 years and you ain't smoking crack.
This shit is too common in this industry at this point.
This is what I'm saying. So I would say, for me, I'm burning all that shit. I don't own any, but if I did, I'm burning all that shit. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, if you are a victim in any capacity, say something, man. Don't suffer alone. You don't have to. Doses. All right. Look.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Doses.
Dose.